Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers of this talk, the CGTN channel, for this invitation and the opportunity to speak on this event. I would also like to express my deep condolences to the victims of the Sichuan earthquake that happened recently. Now, it should be obvious to all of us that we are currently living in an uneasy time. The world is undergoing a very rapid change. As history shows us, such change quite often brings with itself significant troubles and suffering to the majority of the common people around the world. Therefore, we, the younger generation, should be prepared to face the new challenges of our time, be ready to solve these problems, and develop new ways to decrease the risk of further conflicts, despite all the contradictions and differences between people. To name such a few challenges that we all can see around us: political instability, which may lead to energy, food, ecological and other crises; climate change and its effect on all of us; world healthcare problems, specifically the COVID-19 pandemic and its consequences; and further escalation of interethnic and interreligious conflicts. Now, I cannot cover all of the possible topics in my short speech, let alone present a solution to these problems, which is why I would like to focus on one of the areas of cooperation that may help us find common values and mutually enrich the cultures of our people. As someone who has a very keen interest in relations between cultures, I have often asked myself a very simple question: what is it that hinders peaceful and mutually respectful relations between people? Now, the answers may be many. Some say it's the economic relations and that breed misunderstandings. Others say that it's the imbalance of power or a fault of a political system, and some try to look for such reason in history or religion. The reasons may be true to some extent, but usually on a bigger and grander scale. However, on the level of common people, very often I find that the main reason is simple lack of awareness, the inability or sometimes even lack of desire to even attempt to understand each other. This is further exacerbated by the fact that very often we are very easily led by those who have ulterior motives and try to excuse their own failings by choosing one of the reasons from those mentioned above. But we need to remember one very important counter-argument for those that try to sow discontent among us. We have only one planet and only one common future on it. We have no other choice but to find points of contact, respect each other, to find ways to support and enrich each other's cultures if we wish to secure a safe and prosperous future. So how can we do it? Well, that's exactly one of those tasks that lies heavily on our shoulders, the shoulders of the younger generation. One of the most efficient ways to combat ignorance is, of course, education. I myself have studied abroad in China for 8 years at Fudan University. It was a great school for me, and I have acquainted myself with history and culture of Chinese people and also many other foreign students. Tens of thousands of young people from all around the world study in universities across China. Of course, the recent COVID pandemic has severely affected this number. But the international student community in China has always been, at least to me, a very good example of the mutually respectful and helpful society. Of course, student solidarity is a unique phenomenon in its own right, but who's to say that friendships formed between former students will not last for life? And this is where we, as representatives of the SCO members, come in. Now, the SCO has made some efforts in this area, but in my opinion, they haven't been very successful. I'm talking about the initiatives of the SCO, like the SCO University or the SCO Youth Forum. In my opinion, these initiatives lack the necessary exposure, if not effectively abandoned. The SCO may not have been founded on the grounds of educational and cultural cooperation, but in the face of new challenges in this world, I think now is the time that these initiatives move from ineffective declarations towards developing and implementing concrete educational programs, and perhaps even become permanent institutions. I firmly believe that once we have established a solid educational cooperation, it will greatly improve further cooperation in all other spheres and help us find positive solutions to whatever difficulties we may find in the future. Learning about and understanding each other is, after all, the first step for our bright future. I wish us all peace and prosperity and to have a productive day today. Thank you.